got to be Stephen here. Hey, everybody, it's that time. Again, oh, I know. You in the front row, I told you. You leave the Coke machine alone or we're going to have you escorted out of here.
We're having way too much fun here.
Yeah, we're having a great time in New York. And
this is called Drinks with Dee Dee and John.
And John, I forgot to say that. Welcome to Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John.
Thank you.
Here in New York City, John.
Oh, don't stop.
Is killing it.
Don't stop. It's so much fun.
For Perfect Crime. And, and then people are like, oh, I saw you in Chicago. I saw you in Grand Hotel.
Yeah, so people...
John in New York. I mean, he made a splash, and he's making a splash again.
They do. Speaking of splashes, we are drinking a fine
red wine
right now. Red wine.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Here's Happy New Year. Great stuff happening in the world. Isn't it nice that great stuff is happening in the world again? Or at least there's rumors of great stuff happening in the world.
Can you do me a favor?
What? Well, I didn't sip yet.
This week is Elvis's birthday. Now, it's a couple days ago. But will you sing like a little bit of Now or Never?
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. Thank you. That's so much easier than going to do it on Fox.
Well, I won't say who, but people wanted John to sing that like really early in the morning. And because
that
John
ain't happening.
is a star in a New York play.
No, it's because John works nights now.
Because John works, but that's why I was going. Because look, he's finished at 10, and then you can't sleep right after a show because everybody's keyed up.
Right. Yeah.
So the schedule has adjusted to late night, and
it's so strange for me. I'm not a sleep in late guy, but I sure am now. My gosh.
You're really not sleeping in because your schedule is just adjusted. It's
true.
Think of yourself on London time. London calling.
Living on London time.
London calling.
So,
do you like that song?
I don't know that song.
What? The Clash?
No.
London calling. It's a cool song.
Know that. I'm glad. I'm so glad it is.
It's a great message, but it's just a cool song. Anyway, John's doing such a great job with Perfect Crime. So if any of you can come to New York, but I have to say a lot of your fans have come already.
Mrs. Brent.
They've attended.
Mrs. Brent.
We were laughing because we have so many Brents in our life.
All of a sudden,
everyone, we have a Brent every day. Every day, the name Brent is mentioned in our.
And I say it all night because Kathy's character is Mrs. Brent, so I call her Mrs. Brent all night. Our stage manager's name is Brent. Brent, you're watching from Baton Rouge, probably. Your name is Brent, right? Our business guy that
Brent.
runs, so lots of Brents. And I don't know that before this I really had any Brents. I mean, maybe one or two here or there. Anyway, so great stuff seems to be happening in the world. It's terrific. We're talking about, my God, what a difference. Trudeau resigned.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think that was?
What's Trump, for sure.
Yeah, but what is he afraid of? I don't
guess. I don't know. It's conjecture, but I think that Trudeau's thinking, oh, shit, sorry.
You can't take that back. You can't take that back.
Well, it is a podcast. We're allowed, but I hate to say that. Although when John says it in a play, it's very funny.
Shit.
Because she says, he hasn't read me my rights yet. And he goes,
You just interrupted yourself again.
Okay.
Okay. What were you saying about Justin Trudeau?
Anyway, Justin
former
Trudeau,
Prime Minister of Canada.
I think he's thinking, I cannot deal with Trump. I am a communist. I'm sort of a communist. I'm a communist light. And I cannot deal with this man. I'm out. I think he chickened out. I think he just ran off and chickened out.
So did he leave the country? He left the country without one. I mean, what do they do? Do they have an emergency election? No. But they left the country without a prime minister, kind of like we've been without a president.
Yeah, but there's always a way. There's always, someone dies or someone's in an accident or somebody just bails like he's being a chicken. there's a process, and Canada.
Say what's on your mind, really. What do you think?
Canada is going to be different than we are. We're going to do it better because we do everything better than everybody else. But he just bailed. He's a chicken. He's a chicken of Trump. He cannot deal with Trump. He's like, oh, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Oh, bye-bye. So guess what? Bye.
Bye, high chair. Yep, he left. That's fascinating to me.
You got to give Mexico credit because they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do with you. You got it, President Trump. We will cooperate. And Trudeau just hits the road, Jack.
Well, they'll negotiate. They'll negotiate with him, which is great. He's a master negotiator, but, he also knows how to give people something. You can't, everybody needs to walk away with something. It's the art of the deal, which is.
But Trudeau couldn't do it. He's just a winner.
I know, it's just strange to me.
No, I can do this. I'm going to go and have my poutine and be done with this guy.
My Vegemite. Oh, that's Australia. I think they eat it up there too. So, what do you think? Do you think any of this notion of annexing
Greenland?
Well, Canada first. They were talking about Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, but they were talking about Canada first, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure that was part of the reason Trudeau was like, I cannot deal with this.
I can't deal with it.
Days are going to get really bad because Donald Trump they met.
But they're only going to get bad for the bureaucrats. They're not going to get bad for the people. Everything is already getting better for the people.
Oh, I agree. But, you have to understand his background. And it is a total opposite of Donald Trump.
Ah, okay.
Donald Trump's a capitalist. He's like a pseudo-communist. I mean, terrible.
Trudeau is.
Totally.
Right.
Totally so liberal. So he's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I mean, what a freaking wimp. I have no respect for that. At least Mexico's like, okay, we'll do with you. Because they know they have to.
Right.
And Trudeau.
Somebody's going to have to. Somebody from Canada is going to have to do it.
Do it. He's not. He's a wimp. Pathetic.
Well, okay. Pathetic. All right.
Bye-bye, Justin. Justine.
Oh, what about Greenland?
Well, Donald Trump Jr.
Jr. is there right now.
Visited. And, I mean.
As we do this podcast.
Is saying, maybe, they could be, I don't know if he said 51st state like he did with Canada, but we can bring them in, which would be great. And I think he was talking about it being like a military.
It helps us protect Canada. It helps us us first and foremost protect the United States. But then it'll help everybody over here. I think it's a great idea.
In the box.
No.
And then America's not the Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of America. Why not?
And why not? Because it is North America, Mexico.
North America, that's right.
United States and Canada, it's North America. So how cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, we're taking back the Panama Canal too. I mean, I'm telling you, he's coming in like a bear.
He's coming in like they say, guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing.
So it's gonna be fascinating.
I think he's hitting everybody on so many different fronts. I think he's excited. I think he's got great ideas about how to get our country back on track again. Obviously, there were a lot of campaign promises that he is desperate. He absolutely will keep them. But do you think we're going to have a situation in the House? Is there a slim enough margin that his ideas can be, here's a great word, thwarted, and people will get in the way? Or do you think they're going to finally let this man do what we elected him to?
Well, look, here's the thing with immigration. If you're not American, get out. If you are illegal when you cross and you're not an American, so that's in the Constitution. Yeah. Forget it. So he doesn't need any permission to do anything in that regard.
With regard to the border, protecting the border.
Yeah, the law is there. It's solid. It's just that Biden never followed it. I mean, and
now look what he's doing.
As you've said in the past, and you ended up being right.
Oh, really?
Committed treason. We'll say allegedly, just so FBI's not knocking on. And by the way, just so everybody knows, this was about a year ago, and all John heard is like, oh, the FBI is coming after you. Guess what? We never heard a word from the FBI. No. Nothing. Not a zip. Zero.
No, because you are allowed. You are free to believe what you believe.
First Amendment.
So yeah, this I don't know what the hell is he doing right now? He's pardoning all these people. I saw were two people in Guantanamo Bay refused.
It was so bad. They're like, we're not even taking them.
They refused it.
I don't know why, but
they refused a commuted sentence.
Mhm.
Is that what it was? I'm not even sure what all that stuff means. I know what refusing something means, but so these
And
were folks who were bodyguards.
You permanently cannot drill. And I'm like, really? 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 I mean, it's like we're less than 2 weeks away from Trump taking over. The election results have been certified, and
How did that feel, Kamala?
Biden is trying to say, you could never drill ever. And it's like, how stupid.
Trying to leave a legacy of idiocy.
It's stupid.
That's what he's leaving.
And
But,
it's rude.
I'm sure that it's rude. I'm sure that there's some way, there's going to be some way for President Trump and his administration to get around that. Apparently, it's an old law, though. So it's one of those things where they came after Trump and they tried to keep him from running. So they're going back 100 years, 150. They're going way back into our history to find anything they can do, not to stop him. They know they can't stop him because he is us. Mm-hmm. But what they can do is muck up the works and make it so difficult that they'll be able to say, well, he hasn't done what he said he would do yet. Well, no, of course he's trying, but you folks are in the way. Get out of the man's way, for crying out loud. You lost, lick your wounds, go back and serve your constituency rather than your own pockets, right? And do what you're supposed to do. Be a representative of the people. That's what the amazing thing I see about one of the amazing things I see about Trump is that, yeah, he's got billions of dollars. He worked his ass off to get billions of dollars. And he seems to be more in touch and more in tune with folks like us, folks like you, than any president I've ever known.
Well, what I admire is last time, I mean, look, he had never been in politics before. He's kind of flat-footed. And he had people in administration and working against him. Now is
none of that.
Running. He has made all these appointments already, made all these decisions, and we're still 13 or...
Well, when you see this will be like 10 days out.
Yeah, like the final countdown. And the final countdown. The final countdown. You can do those 80s.
What were we talking about?
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying you could do all those like 80s. What do they call them?
Glam rock.
Oh, anthems. 80s anthems.
Those rock anthems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The final count. And girl can't help it. I thought Journey was good. Who did you like in the 80s? And then John Schneider.
Mm-hmm. Who did I like in the 80s?
Anthem. Did you have sort of a
Van Halen? Loved Van Halen.
Oh, God, yeah. They're the best. Walking down.
Well, but that's Roy Orbison, really. That's
true.
I mean, they did do it, but I don't care for that version.
I get it.
But I love them. I thought, a lot of the bands we had, a lot of those bands like Whitesnake and Poison and all those folks, Bret Michaels and the gang, they were big Dukes of Hazzard fans. So we'd run into them.
I'm hot for teacher. Doodly doo doo doodly doo doo doodly doo 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 doo. Okay, so I kind of like bringing up the 80s because I feel like we're coming back to an 80s time.
Why?
Because there was an abundance.
A time of abundance? Okay.
Yeah, abundance, a golden era, like what Trump's saying, and, the 80s, and you think of Reagan. I think we're back in the 80s. I love it. I don't want to
back
have
in the
big
80s
hair again.
Wait a minute.
I
got my big hair. I got my big hair again right now. Look at that.
You've got beautiful hair.
I was going to cut it all off for this show, and then I decided not to.
You got beautiful hair. So we can slide it or we can make it big, whatever. But you're ready for the 80s, the golden era, because that's when Trump's calling it. And I think we're going back to the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to go back better than that. Yeah.
Agreed.
So much better than that. And it's funny because this administration, the current, thank God, almost over administration, was to build back better, right? What did you do? Where did you do any of that? With as much control as they have. right? So they say things, and this is not speculation anymore. I mean, they just say things to placate their constituency, and but then they don't act on.
But that's why a lot of the
we haven't stopped them.
The
in fact,
constituency bailed on them. They're like, you know what, you're not doing anything. Well, in fact, now we know that.
Speaker Johnson got in trouble because he negotiated with them on the bill and wound up allocating all that money to Ukraine, and that almost kept him from.
Well, and it should have. That should be a good lesson because I'm not happy with
right,
that.
but still, I'm not either. But they don't have.
But I have.
You've got to get something, right?
But I have faith in President Trump.
Absolutely.
If he wants Johnson, so be it.
Yeah.
But that Ukraine deal.
Well, but what they do is they put they build or write a great bill,
and then they
put this serial filler in it. And what are you going to do? You say, well, I really want to do, but we don't have. How do you think we're ever going to get a line item veto? My whole life they've been talking about. I don't know why not, because you can have 10 wonderful things in there and then have some BS thing that has to be part of it.
Yeah, Ukraine.
And you kind of have to throw. You're given a choice. Do I throw the baby out with the bathwater? What do I do here? And but they're very clever at doing that, so that we had another bill that we did not pass because it was just atrocious. It was trillions of dollars that we were going to spend. And by the way, I still don't understand. Maybe you can explain this to me. How can a country who's 33, 34 trillion dollars in debt, how can we give anybody any money? How can we have money to share if we don't? If we're $3 trillion in debt, if my household is $3 trillion in debt, I'm surely not going to go out and buy Girl Scout cookies because I can't. So how does that work?
Credit and wrong and all kinds of deals. And it's, I think Donald Trump, because he's a great businessman, that he's going to cut that down to the quick as much as he can and make the good deals. He always says we're getting screwed. I'm going to make the good deals.
Yeah, how come we're paying 98% of
Ukraine freaking war whenever we've got these poor vets on the street, and we've got a border that these really terrible people are coming in and murdering and raping people. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't even understand why that's an argument. And they say, well, they're going to come in, they're going to be taking grandmothers away from their grandchildren or grandchildren away. Well, yeah, but that if the grandmother,
they're illegal.
If they're illegal, they're illegal. But they're not going after that first. They're going after these people who rape, these people who push people in front of subways, these people who set people on fire, these people who drive cars through New Year's Eve in the French Quarter. They're going after these people first. The fact that those people are here, and the fact that it's not an accident that our current administration let them in here with open arms, and gave them credit cards and gave them hotels to live in.
Gave
them all that stuff so that they could vote. And at the same time, they keep the insurrectionists from January 6, 2020 in jail. So they are not only are they treating illegal aliens much better than their own constituency, but they are treating their own constituency as if they are illegal aliens. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, it's going to end.
Yeah, so the people, the January 6 folks, are political prisoners. They have been held hostage. I think, just as we have American hostages, as long as we have one American hostage anywhere in the world, this Joker Joe should not be doing these things he's doing. He's trying to leave some great legacy of stuff that he's done. Well, I tell you, it's too late. You have so.
You can never joke forever. Really? Oh my gosh! Really? And it's just at this point rude and stupid.
Rude and stupid. I agree with that. But there's the word I keep hearing is there's no new drilling. So for a little while, it's going to come down to what is the definition of new. So does that mean all of the oil derricks? I think they're called, all of the oil cities that are out there. Luke would know because Luke worked on one.
We built this city.
Okay.
We built this city on rock and roll.
Oh, look, what's that?
Do 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 do.
What's so?
Do. 80s. I'm sorry, but we kind of turned it into a bit of an 80s thing. I'm so happy.
And when I turn it back the other way, I turn it back to talking about what the hell was I saying? It was good. It was important.
About energy and drilling.
Oh, and drilling and the word new. So are they going to be able to reopen all of the ones that have been closed over the last 4 years? So only they can't build new ones. Maybe we have enough of them already. Maybe we don't have to build.
Nobody's going to stop them. Maybe if they're drilling and they build new ones, who's going to stop them? Nobody.
Well, but you know what you do, and President Trump is a land developer. There's a thing called grandfathering in. So I've seen a lot of people. You cannot build a new house in Beverly Hills, but you can tear almost all of the house down, and usually they'll leave the fireplace. They'll leave one support wall somewhere, and then they will build around that, and they will say that they did not build a new house. They remodeled an old house. So there's probably a way around this stuff. It's just a shame. It's a shame. It's a sham that this administration feels it is incumbent upon them to do everything they can, not to welcome in the new administration, but to cripple them.
No, they use a word you liked earlier, thwart.
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 Can you use that in a sentence while I drink my wine? Because that was a hell of a statement you just made.
Well, because you said you liked that word earlier. And
they are thwarting.
The word war is in the middle of that. Good God, yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And didn't War saying,
if you want to be happy with the rest of your life.
No. Don't drive too fast.
Oh, my friends. Yeah, I think that was.
Low rider.
That was War, right? It wasn't Los Lobos.
No, I think
Los Lobos was that other.
Take a little trip. Take a little trip.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
So sorry.
So what do you all think about... now, personally, I think everything that Biden and Harris and all these folks are doing, all these blanket pardons, all this stuff. And I tell you what, if he pardons Fauci, which everybody says that he will, it's going to be bad.
Dr. Death.
It's going to be bad, yeah, because they have done everything they can. They put Roger Stone in jail. They put Peter Navarro in jail. They put Steve Bannon in jail. I mean, they're trying to put Trump in jail. My God.
Killed a ton of Americans with
yes.
that damn virus. They said, you have to take it. Close down businesses. So you still have people that are still reeling from having to close down their business. People died from the virus because it attacked their body. And now, even these young people will fall over on the football field. Oh, well, they got the jab. And now,
yeah, it's
now evidence is coming up over and over again that was the cause of it. These deaths.
My fear, though, about that whole thing is that someone is going, and I'm going to say it here now, someone is going to call attention to the administration that rushed that, not the administration that made you have to have it, but the administration that rushed that was the Trump administration, because it was a disaster. I mean, it was, and so
it's not Trump's fault.
No, it's not Trump's fault. I don't think so at all. But I think that at some point someone is going to say, well, we never would have had a.
They would have said it. They try to blame Trump for everything. Well, guess what? He's going to be the president of the United States. Get over it. He's going to be the man, and he's
already the man.
He is the man.
Yep.
No, it's going to change.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. Why did he pick that song? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me why. I mean, I worked with the Village People. I get it. Why in the world did a 78-year-old man pick Young Man to be his theme song? Could you pipe in here a little bit? Would you have a voice and opinion?
Well, all I know is this. That the inauguration is coming up. We would be there. We're planning on going. And then now John is in this amazing show in New York. So we're doing that instead. But we'll eventually get there and it will be great. And I cannot wait till the 20th. And on the 20th, we're going to go to the Friends of Abe event in New York. And then wait a minute, that's a Tuesday, right? Yeah. And then you'll have a show.
Have a show Tuesday
I
night.
have to be there at 7:30.
Then have Wednesday off. We just did a 9. Well, tonight is the 9th show. Usually Broadway does 8 shows a week, but because of the New Year's Eve, it got shifted around. So we had a 7 show week followed by a 9 show week. So tonight is the 9th. The 9th show.
We have a day off.
And my feet hurt. My foot hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's up with that. Why are we? Can we talk about the Biden administration trying to thwart the incoming Trump administration at every turn and stop talking about my feet?
These boots are made for walking.
Well, I spent all the time in those damn boots, jumping and running around Hazard County.
So gonna walk all over you. Didn't you say the people would say when you're on the Dukes of Hazzard that your boots, it looked like you had something in your boot?
Well, I ran funny in my boots. Yeah.
Tom would run like an athlete and you would
And I'm not.
Well, but you are athletic.
I'm not.
So
No.
See, Tom's performing at the Birdland like jazz place.
Yeah, with a trio.
Yeah, so when
We're going to try to go in. It kind of overlaps. It's a Tuesday night. And
they may not make it, but the liquor will.
we run out quick right after Perfect Crime. Then I think we can see Tom. And then he's going to come see Perfect Crime at some point, hopefully this week, maybe next, but certainly before the run is done. And the run is done on February 2nd, Sunday night.
So if you're coming,
February
come
2nd. Don't come on the 3rd because guess what? Won't be here.
We'll be heading to Nashville.
Headed back to Nashville. So if you want to come, that'd be great. Do know that hotels in New York, I've got a bunch of great long-term. They're a lot cheaper now, but a lot of very wonderful long-term friends and fans who want to come and bring their dog and all that kind of stuff. And if I don't know, it's rough here in New York right now, and it's also cold
everywhere. I think it's okay.
No, I know, but but
during the holidays, forget it. I mean, hotel rooms were like $800 a night. So now it's gone way down. For January, it's a good time to come, in my opinion.
Well, it's gone way down, but it's still probably $400. It's probably still
not
$350, $400 a night. No,
it's okay. Better than $800.
And we parked the car.
Oh Lord!
In the yard, we parked the car in the yard. We're gonna have to get that out, and
it's gonna be like rent out of Beverly Hills.
It's gonna be. What do you think it's gonna be?
Between $1,500 and $2,000
to leave the car across the street.
Mm-hmm. That's what's bad about New York.
Oh boy!
The car is rent. It's serious rent.
Oh yeah, it's rent. Okay, so we're sitting right here about a half an hour. Let's talk about something. What do you say? Why don't you contribute to this conversation?
I don't know why you say that because I always contribute. In fact, I would say I'm the leader of the pack. That's when I fell for leader of the pack.
Gone, leader of the pack. So anything?
Avenue, on the avenue, but it's really Fifth Avenue. No, we're just excited about the new year and about life, and we're happy every day. I mean, even though you're trying to be grumpy, he's really not. He's trying to be grumpy, but he's not.
I'm not grumpy.
He's happy all the time, other than his foot hurts because he has gout.
Oh, stop it!
And that plantar fasciitis.
I don't have a plantar fasciitis. No, I don't have that.
Yeah, but that's what you said you had.
That's what it feels like because it hurts in the morning. So it tries to heal at night. But that's kind of a heel. That's a heel toe thing.
And what do you have written on your hand?
Manchester WH.
That's from the show. That's from his show. That's how dedicated John is. I will have to say, and I've said this before, he is so good in this. John is so talented. So we went to a restaurant, Da Marino, and we walk in and there's John's picture. It's a gigantic picture of him right in the middle of everything. Whenever he
started, I'm going to send that picture to Tony.
He starred in Chicago, and it's so cute because he's Billy Flynn. And so his hair is slicked back, and again, he's got a tux on or a suit or whatever. It looks very dashing, just like in this show. And it was a huge deal. And then, you know, a lot of folks are saying, oh, yeah, I saw John in Chicago and Grand Hotel, and now he's back doing a play. And I am positive that this has to be harder than those musicals, not to take away from them. But if you can go and like dance and sing for a little bit, great. But for this show, John is constantly on, constantly. It is a very serious play. And to who done it, there are a lot of facts, and he is so good at it.
You got to really follow this show. Yeah, Tony, I just sent you a couple
pictures. So good at it.
But
people remember, because, you know, Chicago's
the restaurant.
Chicago's been on for a long time.
Well, the revival of it's been running for like 30 years.
And it's amazing. But I could see you telling being Billy Flynn. But after...
I don't care about expensive things. That was a great show. Chicago was a great show. But like what you're saying, there's no... If a scene is kind of going south or something's kind of not working on stage, but you know you have a big dance number or a big singing number coming up, then you...
I'm going to have to pay for tonight.
I know. So the singing and dancing can kind of cover up for a scene that's gone south. But in a play... No,
there's no covering up.
No, you are there. And this particular play, it's really terrific. But I'm telling you, there are four people in it, and the front row is 4 feet away, 5 feet away.
That's off Broadway. Off Broadway
on stage. Intimate. Yeah, it's very intimate. So if you've not seen theater like that, and I mean the front row is on the same. Well, we've got one little ride, like a 6-inch riser that the stage is on, but that's it.
I think off-Broadway is harder than Broadway. I don't know, because I've not done either one. But I've gone to many, many, many Broadway shows, many, many off-Broadway. But I think the off-Broadway people have a lot more on their shoulders.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of flash in a Broadway show. I mean, they make cars fly, they make people fly, they do all kinds of stuff now with... we didn't get a chance to see Back to the Future.
I wanted to, but we ran out of time.
And Gypsy apparently is back on now. But there's nothing to fall back on. There's no, hey, look over here. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You know, there's none of that. On this show, we're out there. We're right in front of you, and we have to deliver the goods every night.
John does
8 shows a week. Well, you know, I'm just having such a good time because it's I have the ability to forget. When I come into the room in the first scene, it's like it's all fresh to me. So I'm not acting like I'm trying to figure out who done it or how they did it. I know who did it. I'm just trying to figure out how or why. And I go through the process, and it's funny. I really am doing it for the first time every time.
He is.
Somehow. And
John keeps it fresh every night. Look, I've watched every single show, and we'll watch all of them. And it is a different show.
Unless you go to the dentist.
No.
Talk about my feet and talk about your dentist.
No. I'm watching every show. What if something goes wrong? What if you get a corn?
On my tooth?
On your toe.
You don't just get a corn. It takes a while.
What if you trip and fall and you hit your head?
Land in the front row?
Yeah. If I'm not
right there,
what's going to happen?
You're not in the front row. You sit in the back anyway.
I know I sit in the back anyway.
What were you talking about before you so rudely interrupted yourself?
I was saying that you keep it fresh every night. It's so good every night. And I know because I watch every single show. And like last night was different than the night before. I mean, you're amazing.
Well, thank you. I'm
so proud of you.
Last night, it was funny. There's a scene where Kathy and I are sitting on the couch. And I happened to notice that my tie clip was gone. Now, she's taken my tie clip from me. Every time we've done that scene, 8 shows a week for like 3 weeks now, she's taken that tie clip. Last night was the first time I realized that she did it. And I'm sitting there on the couch, and I've got dialogue. I'm talking, and I'm listening, and I'm drinking, and I'm doing all that stuff.
You look down, you're like, "Where's my tie clip?"
Well, and I did, and it made me forget. I'm supposed to do something with a hand Kathy a glass to get more. It's actually watered down Coca-Cola. It's supposed to be Scotch, but I got tickled because I'm thinking, John, this is what you do for a living, and you did this show 5 times over the weekend: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And last night you telling me that this is the first time you've noticed that she takes that tie clip. So this is the voice happening in my head while I'm listening to Kathy, while I'm responding to Kathy. So I don't know if that's a sickness or what, but I am I'm a fresh piece of investigative paper every show.
Can you say that again?
Investigative.
No, the whole thing.
I'm a fresh piece of investigative paper every show. Is that even right? Investigative? Investigative? That's not right. Investigative. Anyway, so if you come see the show, know that you have to have your thinking cap on, and know that I will have my thinking cap on, because I have to figure it out every night. But it really is great. It's been running since 1987. And I think it's terrific. It is. We just found out this week that Kathy is the person that brought the first show back to an audience after COVID was, in fact, Perfect Crime. So she got the show back up and running, and the people were delighted to be able to go to theater again. Because for a while it was all shut down.
Like shut everything down. She's like, well, so she sued the city, and so she was the first show back up because she was smart enough.
To Kathy.
To Kathy to see that was wrong.
Yep.
Who are you people to shut down my business?
Well, and now what they're doing, they're doing it again. They've got these tolls at 60th, right?
Oh, Lord.
So it's 60th Street.
What is it?
It's a $9 congestion tax.
What is
a congestion tax, I think they're calling it.
And it's the governor, and she's just, oh, God, totally out there.
Yeah, who lives, I think, in Albany, right?
Yeah, who knows?
So what does she really know about
but these poor people, because after the show goes to a restaurant or whatever, and these folks that work in the city, it's not like they're making gazillions of dollars. They're working hard. They're coming in. They're like, $9 a day extra is a lot of freaking money.
Yeah, it's I think $9.50, but yeah, so they're doing that. They have. But they're doing it because it was going to be like $18. It was going to be twice as much, like $18. And they put in all this infrastructure, these cameras and these license plate readers and all of that sort of thing. So now they have to justify the expense of a couple of $100 million. So now they've got to do it. They raised all the money, they spent all the money, they built the bridge, and now they're going to have to charge people. But we saw it immediately. Last night, we went to, where did we go on the way home?
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons. Beautiful hotel, beautiful bar. They still have their Christmas tree up in the lobby. But we've been there probably 7 or 8 times since we got here.
On the way home.
And now, of course, it was during the holidays, but there was 2 other people there last night. That was it. So when your wait staff outnumbers your patrons, then you have a problem. And that I'm sure that that's related to people are saying, I'm not paying that $9.50. So that's going to hurt all business from 60th down, which includes all of Broadway, right? And all the restaurants who thrive before a show or immediately after the show. In fact, most of the restaurants in New York used to close at 2, 3, but bars are open till 4 in the morning.
I'm most surprised about this part.
Yeah.
I mean, John lived here. I lived here. I lived here longer than you.
I didn't live in the city.
But I lived in the city for a decade plus. And nothing closed before 11 or midnight or 1 or 2 or whatever. And now everything closes like a freaking 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
We had to rush out of the theater to get a bite to eat. There are certain places that do it, but barely. But most places in the theater district close at 10.
Yeah, so
every 10.
These were mandates or these were rules and regulations or whatever that happened after COVID.
No, but everybody says the same thing, just so you all know. Everybody says, oh, this is because of COVID. COVID did this because before, when you said the city that doesn't sleep, it was true. Now it's not.
Oh, the city goes to sleep at 10 o'clock. You can get a sandwich and a pizza and a beer in Madison, Indiana later than you can in Manhattan.
Crazy.
What the hell? What is going on with that? So we talk about that, or at least I did, to mention that was a poke in the eye of all the, that was a thwarting of the restaurateur business and the hotel business and all those kiosks and everything in Manhattan, 60th and lower. They haven't really recovered from that. Now they've just had a good couple of weeks because it was Christmas and New Year's. And this $9.50 thing happens now where people say, we heard a lot of people say, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I can't be on the wait staff somewhere making minimum wage and lose $9.50 a day now.
Well, look at New Jersey. I mean, New Jersey, they're the ones really hurting.
But the patrons aren't coming either. I'm sorry. That's my real point, is because the wait staff will figure it out. They'll take a subway, and supposedly the money from this $9.50 tax, whatever it is going to go to help improve subway conditions and safety. So if that's true, then okay. But, is it true that the money from the lottery goes to schools? I just don't know. I don't know. So if you come to New York, come see a show, come see Perfect Crime. I think you'll love it and enjoy yourself. But know that they've got this new tax thing, which is you're probably not going to drive into the city anyway.
No, people do drive in.
Well, people from around here, people from Kisco and Bedford, they drive in. But people,
to tell you, John's fans have been coming in. It's every 2 or 3 days.
It's been terrific. It really has been terrific.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for your support,
John. And it's lovely.
I got my first yeehaw the other night.
Oh yeah, that was great. It literally.
I'm standing there in a tuxedo, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, everybody's like, well, John, I guess those are your
people. I guess those are your people. Yeah, oddly enough, our people don't yeehaw. Well, goodness gracious. My people yeehaw all the time. All the time. It's been so much fun.
But I do want to give a shout out to my friend Bill Spadia. He's running for governor.
Oh, good for you. I'm setting our timer right here.
He's running for governor in New Jersey, and he's amazing. And it would be so great if he could win. That's kind of a blue state. But remember, Chris Christie did win. So a Republican can win. So I think he can do it. His name's Bill Spadia. If you live in New Jersey, vote for him. He's amazing. I hope.
Haven't heard anything about I love the meeting.
I hope you can meet him. He is just so great. I used to do TV with him.
Oh, yeah?
And he does radio. He's like a big radio star. And he did TV. So anyway, I hope he wins. But the Jersey people are really suffering.
Sending another picture. I want you to, speaking of her doing TV, I just saw.
The Jersey people are really suffering because they're the ones, for the most part, that have to deal with that stupid tax more than anybody else. Or the charge, or whatever you want to call it. Highway
robbery. Highway robbery. It is.
It's highway robbery. Hello, Billy the Kid.
Yep.
No.
Yep. I'm sending this picture. I think it's great.
It's great.
But don't tell anybody who it is. I want them to figure it out. I'm not sending it to Tony. So Tony, I just sent it. I sent you another picture to your email. I figured it out.
What's that from?
So I had not done. That's from Pajama Game, and I played Sid Sorokin in Pajama Game.
And you were with Sid Charisse
I was with Sid Charisse in Grand Hotel, and one of my buddies for a long time was Howard Keel. Look at that. Who is that? Who is Dee Dee with right there? Look at those crabapple cheeks, huh? Look at you.
And whatever happened to Kevin McCarthy?
I don't know what happened with Kevin. So that's Kevin McCarthy, folks.
Young Republicans nationally. And then Kevin was Speaker of the House, and then that didn't work.
And he wasn't.
So I don't know what he's doing.
How great was that vote the other day? First round. It looked a little dicey there for a minute, but I think that was showmanship.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. When Speaker Johnson got back in on the first round of voting, which doesn't really make sense to me because they keep voting until they get what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then what do they have to? Because it took Kevin like 30.
Oh God,
wasn't it? It was like 30.
Yeah, yeah.
It took longer to vote him in than he was there.
Pretty much.
And that's terrible because, he's from got dear friends out in Bakersfield. That's where Kevin is from. That's his, not region. What do you call it?
That's his hometown. That's his district.
District. Well, yeah, see, that's the word I was looking for. So,
you're thinking Buck Owens. I know what you're thinking.
What's Bakersfield?
Buck Owens.
Yeah, and Jack Skaggs. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jane. Hey, everybody.
No, they had like the palace.
I know, it's for sale.
Or whatever. No, we're not moving to Bakersfield.
I
don't want it.
I love Bakersfield. I don't want to move to Bakersfield. No, I'm not saying that. But the Buck Owens, the Crystal Palace is a beautiful place. I played there. It was terrific. That's also the land of Dwight Yoakam, a little further north of there as well, and the land of Merle Haggard.
Isn't it Dwight Yoakam?
I have no idea what that is.
Do 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 do. As fast as you or something.
Guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music. Anyway, Dwight is a terrific singer, terrific performer, and a hell of an actor. He's a hell of an actor too.
Oh, mercy. And that's you because you're Elvis. You have the top charting Elvis song
covered.
It's
now or never.
Proud of you. So you've worn the jumpsuit, right?
I've not worn an Elvis jumpsuit. No, I wore a spandex jumpsuit when I did Staying Alive at the Manhattan Yellow Pages in the Omni International Hotel.
What does that
in
mean?
Downtown Atlanta in 1977.
I don't even know what that means.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Got a little Chinese there for a minute. Anyway, so I did that.
Last New Year's.
What did I do last New Year's? Like this last New Year's in life? We were on the roof.
Try again. No, this New Year's, last New Year's.
I don't remember.
It's now or never.
Oh, we were at Graceland.
Graceland.
We were.
And
that's right.
Apology because John was going to go to the
48 minutes. We've got 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Graceland, the celebration for Elvis, but then this came up, so we had to cut a couple of things, and that was one of them. And I saw that one of John's fans that went there just for John is there. So, but she's also coming to Perfect Crime.
Oh, right. Yeah. So one fatality of coming here to do this show. Actually, we had two. One was singing at Graceland, and the other was a car show, right? Not a car show, an autograph show. Comic-Con in
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
But that's one a lot of people signed up for, so it felt a little...
I know, yeah. So I'm sorry about that. But I think that doing this show...
John might sing It's Now or Never to you on video.
The hell I will.
You know you will.
It's now or never. My love.
Oh, solo mio.
Da-da-da-da. So,
same song.
Really?
Really?
Wow, I had no idea all these years since I first sang it that it was a Mario Lanza song in disguise, who was a truck driver, by the way.
Honk, honk.
Honk, honk. Okay, so I can't wait to see what happens this next week. I'm hoping it's all good. I want to make sure that everybody says a special prayer to get these January 6th folks out of what I believe is unfair incarceration. And, same thing, if there's anybody in there that needs to be there, that's when we have to actually trust our Justice Department or our new Justice Department to figure that out. Because there's a lot of people that don't. And there's a lot of people who've been kind of held up as amazing people who I really think are not. One of whom I don't know his name, but I don't even want to know his name, but he's the officer who killed Ashley Babbitt.
Hello.
Yeah, that is somebody that does not need to be held up as a pinnacle of law enforcement, because we've all seen that video. And as far as I can tell, something very fishy was going on there. But this gentleman was certainly not in any danger that I can see. And there were 3 other officers there at the same time. And I would think if there was any impending danger, that one of those officers would have seen it, pointed it out, and taken action against it. But instead, looks to me like they just kind of got out of the way because they saw that another officer was going to open fire on a unarmed veteran and shoot her dead. That needs to be looked into.
Well, after Trump gets in, it will all be looked into. And just a quick little note, because here and there people will bring it up about the scammers with John. I just read one. Johnny.
Oh, we just had one today.
Yeah, but Johnny Depp has the same thing. He said, please do not give anybody any money. Do not believe anything. John doesn't respond to people.
I don't ask you to go to, I don't have a Telegram account that I know of.
Do that.
And I don't ask you to send money.
Ever.
We've had, I will try to sell you a t-shirt or an album or something, or a movie.
Store, but other than that, do not fall for it.
No, it's terrible. And this morning we had lunch, and thank God, one of the really good things about our technology these days is that if I make an American Express charge, it'll pop up on my phone. Well, we're here in Manhattan this morning, and what pops up on my phone but a charge
and a delay
at the Hollywood Roosevelt, where we stay, but a charge at the Hollywood Roosevelt this morning. So immediately I called American Express, and good for American Express, because the answering machine or whatever that was, the automation said, this could be quite a wait. Why don't you try to do it online? So I was about to try to do it online, and bam, American Express called, and they had it taken care of in about 5 minutes. So we're very grateful to them. And what's funny about that is the first thing that happens in A Perfect Crime is Kathy, Mrs. Brent, hands me a folder because she thinks I'm the American Express guy. So she's filled out a new form. So I mention American Express at least 8 times a week, and 9 times this week.
And John in the show is the signature expert. So
I'm the Windsor County handwriting expert. I testify at trials.
Part of the reason he could figure out the crime like that, and he knows right away. He's like Columbo, knows right away. But he is the dashing James Bond version of Columbo. That's why you lost your comp.
Yeah.
Man with the golden gun.
We hear that, yeah, every night.
Every night.
Every night.
Music, anything with the gun, it's come 30 minutes.
Jamie got a gun.
Got a gun. With the gold.
Happiness is a warm gun. So all these things are playing every night. And Mozart.
With the gun. Oh yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
So John and I wake up with this in our head, because I go to every show he's in.
Mozart and Aerosmith.
It's in our head.
Mozart and Aerosmith running through our heads.
So this is a different situation. You've done it before in Chicago. Now, when you did Chicago, did the music run through your head all the time as well?
Yeah, it did.
What was your song?
That one. All I care about is love.
Can I hear it a little bit?
I don't care about expensive things. Da-da-da, diamond rings, oh no, not me. All I care about is love. That's what I'm here for.
Billy Flynn was all about other stuff.
You asked me what song I liked, and I answered your question.
But okay. Billy Flynn was sort of like...
He also has give him the old razzle dazzle. I'm not doing that show. Why are we promoting that show?
Why
are we promoting that show?
Give him the old razzle.
Anyway, so we're looking forward to seeing what happens.
Hi.
Yes, we're looking forward to seeing what happens in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, up to the 20th. I think we've got amazing and wonderful things happening. I think we have a lot of people who are finally saying, let's just, I don't want any more, please. Let's just go. She doesn't listen. People are saying, we're not going to fight it.
Dazzle.
We're not going to fight it anymore.
Well, that's what Trump's doing. He's giving him the old razzle dazzle. It's not a joke.
Oh, sure. Try to tie that in. Yeah.
I did. He is giving him the old razzle dazzle.
Oh, my goodness. We only have 4 minutes left. Isn't that a shame?
I'm wondering.
Can we talk about something?
Because I can't see because my hair is in my eyes and your hair is everywhere. So I'm thinking we might get a haircut next.
I thin some of this out on the sides.
I get, but it's crazy. And I can't see because my hair is in my eyes.
Look at all that. Okay. So
we're going to get a haircut maybe if we get a minute in New York. But it's been super busy and super fun.
A lot of fun. And remember, again, we're here till February 2nd, night of February 2nd. So I do have a show on February, actually 2 shows. That's a Sunday, right? So February 2nd, there is a 2:00 show.
No,
a 3:00 show and a 7:30 show on Sunday. So any given Sunday, that's when it's happening. Wednesdays are dark. So if you come to New York wanting to see Perfect Crime on Wednesday, it ain't going to happen. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. So
every day but Wednesday. And then on the weekend, you've got a matinee and an evening. And John is so good at all of them. My God, I can't even tell you how good he is. So good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. We've enjoyed this podcast, even though we've talked. The hardest part about the podcast is figuring out what to call it because we didn't talk about anything.
Give them the old razzle dazzle.
I'm not going to promote Chicago on our podcast when I'm doing a perfect crime.
Man with the golden gun. Na, 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 na. I love that song because that was like you
think this is fun. You only have to witness this an hour a week.
So now James Bond. I love James Bond movies, don't you?
Oh, look, 2 minutes. Yeah.
No, you're the man with the golden gun. Did you know that? Man with the golden gun.
Who's your favorite James Bond?
You?
I've never been James Bond, so thank you.
James Bond in this movie.
Who's your favorite James? We got very little time. I liked. I thought Sean Connery was great, but I tell you what, I was a big Saint fan. There was a show called The Saint with Roger Moore. He played the Saint. Now, the James Bond, Roger Moore James Bond movies were kind of campy.
I love him, though.
But he's great. I love Roger Moore. And then he plays Roger Moore in Cannonball Run. And I think he thinks he's James Bond. Yeah, it's very funny. He thinks he's James Bond.
The reason I say John is because John is very James Bond.
1 minute.
Well, okay. James.
Don't waste it.
Money penny rules.
Money penny.
I'm just saying that John is very James Bond with this perfect crime thing. He's great.
Only at the end.
You're saying you like Roger Moore the best?
I do. Yeah, I really do. I think Roger Moore was
great. What is your best James Bond movie that you like? What do you like the best? Which movie?
Goldfinger. Goldfinger. I knew that would happen, yeah.
With the gold.
Oh, look at that. We're almost done. No, we could cut you off. Well, you better hurry.
I was here before you.
You better hurry.
Not cutting me off. So just so you know, Goldfinger was set in Lexington, Kentucky, too. The horse racing, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So I love Goldfinger as well. But I have to say, gold seemed to be the theme. I love Pierce Brosnan. I'm sorry, but he's my favorite. I like him.
Pierce is your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
I did a movie for him.
And I love GoldenEye. Oh, my God, it's so good. I love GoldenEye.
Octopussy?
You would like that.
Well.
Where'd that come from? I thought you liked.
Well, who was? Here we are yakking about it.
I thought
you liked but Goldfinger.
I'm gonna pull that out.
Well, it's the only other one I can think of. Or Live and Let Die.
Bum, bum.
Right, great.
Live and Let Die.
Great theme song. Great theme song. Paul McCartney and Wings. Okay, folks, we've gone 3 seconds over. I apologize. Remember, get involved in your get involved in local politics,
What?
even if it's only by telling your
Man
local
with the
politicians.
gun.
Please stop telling your local politicians that you support them or expressing to them what it is you would like them to do to represent you better. This has been Drinks with
Dee Dee.
John
No, Dee Dee.
and Dee Dee. Been Drinks with us. We'll see you next month. Thank you.